What is up, guys? Jose Young's back in your life here at the MMA on the MMAfighting.com YouTube page at the UFC 244 press conference. We're live here. We're waiting for Jorge Masvidal. The stare downs took a little long to get by. Not sure what the holdup was, but Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal did not stare down at the UFC 244 media day. If I had to guess, if I was a betting man, I'd guess that Jorge Masvidal was late. Nate Diaz didn't want to stick around and do the stare downs and left, so there will be no stare down between Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal today at the UFC 244 media day. Now, that is not what I've been told. That is just why I'm guessing that. I want you all to know that that is not what I know. That is what I am assuming. But we are here. We are waiting for Jorge Masvidal. We are live. Nate Diaz spoke. He was 30-ish minutes late, or he showed up 30 minutes into the media day. So if you go back and watch our live stream, skip ahead to like the 30-minute mark, maybe 34-minute mark, and you can watch our full scrum with Nate Diaz here in New York City. But of course, I'm Jose Youngs here on the scene at the UFC 244 media day, waiting for Jorge Masvidal. Dana Segura, Casey Leiden, and Esther Lynn are also on the scene with me as they are doing interviews behind me with the rest of the fighters on the card. But I am on the Nate Diaz Jorge Masvidal beat, so I am just waiting for Jorge Masvidal. I'm going to mute this a little bit, and I'll give you an update when I learn more things. Thanks for sticking around. Hello, everyone, again. Just tuning in. This is Jose Youngs with MMAfighting.com with your update from the UFC 244 Media Day. We're live here in New York City. We're just waiting on Jorge Masvidal, so we're going to bring it to you live, his full media scrum. I'm being told he's might be off property of the hotel, but not far. They still expect him to come. They're trying to get him here. We just don't know when or how far away he is. But we are on the scene here at the UFC 240 Media Day. I have the Nate Diaz Jorge Masvidal beat. Behind me, Danny Segura with Esther Lynn and Casey Leydon are getting all kinds of interviews with the rest of the card. So fear not. Just because Jorge Masvidal might not show up does not mean there won't be any content for you all fine folks in YouTube land. So please bear with us as we all wait for Jorge Masvidal here at the UFC 244 Media Day in New York City. This has been Jose Youngs. I'll be back in a little bit when I find out some more information. I apologize, guys. I'm still on that decaf coffee grind, but bear with us, please. Hello, everyone listening and watching to this fine YouTube channel. This is Jose Youngs with MMAfighting.com with another update. I've been told Jorge Masvidal is in the building. We're just waiting on him to show up. What in the building means, I'm not quite sure. He could be he could be down getting coffee. Maybe he's going to the bathroom. Who knows? But we've been told Jorge Masvidal is in the building. It's just a matter of where he is, how far away he is, or when he's showing up. But thank you for sticking around. Danny Segura, Esterlin, Casey Ladden are, of course, here with me, getting all kinds of fantastic interviews at the UFC 244 Media Day in Times Square in New York. So bear with us. I'll try to keep us updated as much as possible as we all wait for the arrival of Mr. Jorge Masvidal. Thank you so much. Jose Young's here, back in your life. I'm seeing some movement. I'm seeing UFC PR looking. Yeah? People yelling my name, but I see them. I see Jorge. So we good. I got it. People acting like I don't know how to do my job. Talking to our cameraman, Casey Lyden, telling me Jorge's here when I already saw him. I was just telling, I said I saw him walking over. Yeah, so we're good. Sorry about that, everyone. What's up?
What's he wearing?
Clothes. Couldn't tell you. Sorry about that, guys. People asking me where Jorge is, but he is in the building apparently. Saw him walking the side. Saw people telling him that there's a chair there. So Jorge Masvidal is here, the man of the hour, and for that, that's a wrap for me.
Hello, everybody. What's the rundown of the day, man? We were expecting you about an hour ago. What happened that he couldn't be here?
If you find Abraham Kawa, tell him thank you so much because I'm only here because of him.
Why did you not want to be here?
Man, tell you the truth, I never want to do these things, bro. I just want to fucking always train and compete and fight and be by myself. I've been trying to go to Central Park forever and just go by myself and do what I've always done, visualize and meditate and be by myself. And I've done every single thing they said, you know. They kind of forget that I have to train late because the fight is late and I have to wake up early and then this and that. And I don't want to complain or nothing, but I don't know. It's, what am I going to get at? What question of you guys is going to be different from yesterday or the day before? What's going to be different? Not a damn thing, you know? So why keep doing this repetitiveness? I don't know, you know? I get it. You know, I got to show up and do things, but I had things to do today in the morning. I got to make weight tomorrow. I've never missed weight. And I got, you know what's more important than all of this? Is a fight on Saturday. And having my head right, making sure that I perform, you know? So I had to do a couple things today in the morning to make sure that Friday my weight is good and Saturday is good. So, you know, this is gonna hurt a lot of you guys' feelings. This is like second on this. The first thing is fighting. Whatever it takes for me to fight is the first thing for me always, you know? There's other guys that live for this shit. And, you know, whatever. Kudos to them if that's what they got into it for. I got into it so I could fight and shit like that. And coming back into the sport, though, I knew I had to dominate this area of talking and interviews and fighting if I wanted to get the big paycheck. So I try to do as much as I can, but fighting comes first, you know, and I had shit to do in the morning.
I think the one thing we missed was we wanted to see the face-off. That's what we didn't get to see today. We wanted to see you guys together, get that.
They could Photoshop that thing together. And plus, I'm not good at fucking the media days. Didn't Ben Askren beat me like on 2 fucking, what are these things called, press conferences or whatever? I care less about those things. I just want to fight.
Jorge, you said that you're not a West Coast gangster, you're a Miami goon. What's the difference between the two?
You're going to find out Saturday, my brother.
Jorge, if Kimbo were here, what do you think he would say to your success?
Let's get it. Damn shit, man. I wish I could finish the fight and go and shake his hand and give him a hug afterwards. That'd be super cool. That's somebody that no vested interest in. He just was backing me up. You know, he saw the talent and shit, man. It's still one of my most watched fights. Something that makes me so recognizable in the sport when people could figure it out that it's the same guy. Oh shit, it's the same guy I saw when I was a kid, and it's pretty cool. And he opened up those doors for me. He didn't have to, you know. He didn't have to at all. It was just some skinny kid from Miami. I didn't grow up with him or nothing. We just came across each other. He liked my style. He liked what I was doing, and they gave me that shot to shine, you know. So I'm forever indebted to him, man, in many ways, you know.
Is that the sort of guy he was? He would just help people that he didn't need to?
One of the most humble dudes you can come across on all ways, man. Just super humble dude, bro. If you ever, I don't know what your encounters with him might have been or not, but one of the most humble dudes I've met in my life, not in the sport, in life in general.
Do you find it funny that there's other people in this sport that make their whole shtick about the president, and yet he's going to come watch you fight and not them fight?
You said it yourself, man. I think real, no matter what your views are on Trump as a president, the guy's a bad motherfucker, man. money that he's made, the obstacles that he's conquered. He's a bad motherfucker in his own way, you know, no matter what your political views are. And who's he coming to see? It's not that cocksucker with the MAGA hat talking about Trump this, Trump that, and he don't know shit about politics. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk about politics or act like I know about it, but I ain't gonna try to fucking sell people that I know about politics. That motherfucker can't even spell the nation's capital. Inbred ass retard.
Would you like to have Trump put the belt on you other than The Rock?
That'd be cool too, you know. Trump's a cool motherfucker, you know. I don't want to get too much into politics, so, you know. A lot of my Latin community might be upset at me, you know, so I'm not going to dabble in the politics right now, my brother.
Do you wish you could have seen that other guy's reaction when it's announced that Trump is coming to this fight?
Well, I know his reaction and his ghostwriter's reaction because it's a small world. I know exactly how much teeth shaving they did when they actually found out how cringy they got, you know?
I know you don't like talking about him, but the fans asked you about Kobe yesterday, and you said something. What did you say? Because we couldn't hear you on stage.
That the universe is going to correct that mistake via me. Our time will come. I'll dictate when, and then I will. A lot of people said, you included, I think, that what I did to Ben was a little uncalled for. No, it wasn't. What I'm going to do to Kobe is going to be uncalled for. And I can put my life on that, man.
Well, speaking of which, what's the atmosphere like at ATT now? Because it seems like he's caused a bit of a...
Security comes, coaches grab him, they put him away, they got me in a training separate room. He doesn't say a word to me. I fuck with him all the time because I'm the type of guy, if you say something right now, whenever I see you, I'm going to hold you to that. It's just who I've been since I was a kid till right now. I don't have to prove it. Everybody knows. At any given moment, I see my bully, the guy that's trying to conquer me, we're going to find out. And if we could fight every time that we came across each other, we would. He knows it. That's why he runs at me. That's why, not runs at me, runs away from me. That's why I go where he eats at and wait for him. He doesn't eat at these places no more. Because I'm going there to eat, and this little bitch is nowhere to be seen. And these are places that he constantly used to eat at. He knows that I know. So I've been at these places just wanting to have a talk with him man to man. This coward has not gone to eat at these places. I heard he's only doing Uber Eats, you know? Not like I'm gonna assault him or nothing. That's not me. Just want to talk to him man to man, you know?
What do you want to say to him?
Just ask him some questions, you know, man to boy, you know? Be like, why after I let you sleep in my couch? You ate off my food. I helped you get on MMA Junkie. I helped you get on Ariel Hawani, BJPen.com, all these things. Why would you just turn on me just for a Facebook like? Just for something? Are you that much of a bitch? And I'm not much of an idiot. It's truly the mistake is on me because I'm the fucker that let him, you know? He also burnt John Jones, and John Jones back then was sending little messages to Abraham and stuff like, tell George you don't trust that dude. He's another guy, you know? And I was kind of like, there's three sides to every story, yours, theirs, and the truth. So I didn't really, you know, I was like, it was in the early stages. Then he also burnt my boy Woodley, which is one of the few stand-up dudes in the sport that is a true fucking friend. Doesn't know nobody money in the sport. That's one thing. A lot of fighters, 50% of them, 40% of them, owe money to trainers, coaches, people that help them get to that moment. I can't relate with those people. That to me, you're a fucking cockroach. Bop, you know, somebody helped you, somebody gave you knowledge and wisdom to get to the next level, and you don't pay back by just giving them a little bit of money, you know, whatever the fair percentage is. And Kobe fits in that fucking same cowardness. He ripped off two coaches that I actually introduced him to. So I feel like the asshole because the credit's on me. It's on my credit that he did these things, you know? So extra fuck that guy, you know?
I think a lot of us here have like fallen out with like best friends. Does that like hurt you? I mean, maybe that's a bit soft, but...
It hurt me at all. It hurts me that I was so fucking stupid and naive to let this individual anywhere near my family, friends, coaches, let him sleep on my fucking couch for about a year. And all this that I'm saying is actually, you can see it online, or you could ask people at American Top Team and stuff. That's what hurts me, that I was that stupid and naive, man.
Is there an argument that he shouldn't be at that gym anymore? It's not just you, it's Dustin, it's Joanna. Like, is there ever an argument where you need to say to Dan, like, why are you letting this guy still be here?
The argument with Dan and the company is we're both men. We both know how to defend ourselves, right? Well, when I see him and he sees me, let's just handle it, you know? And let it be what it is, you know, because that is my city, and I'm very polite to him because in the snap of the fingers, I could have 5 cars packed to the teeth with individuals that'll make sure he never comes back. I don't do that. I want to handle it man to man. He won't give me that. I just really want to talk to him and tell him, what is your fucking problem? He won't do that though. He's a coward. Just like Woodley said, he hides in corners when he was at the gym. That's what he does. But when this is around and there's a couple security guards behind him, man, that dude is a fucking pit bull all of a sudden, huh? And I can't relate with that shit, man. You know.
So if Usman beats him in December, would you want Usman in the title, or would you want him in the personal beef?
Like you said, personal's personal, business is business, you know? You see how I handle personal dudes. Forgot that guy's name from England. You see how I handle personal dudes. Business is business, you know? When it's business, it's the biggest paychecks, it's the biggest belts. I can give a fuck less from my personal side to bring it to my business. There's a lot of guys from where I'm from still trying to fight me and shit like that. I'm not gonna bring him into my biggest stages. I'll take care of you in a parking lot somewhere, you know? Because at the end of the day, I love to fight, so I'll give you that. But he's not gonna be on stage with me, sharing it if he doesn't deserve it, you know?
It might be bigger money than a title fight, though. I think more people might pay to see you in Colby than they would you in Cameroon.
Tell you the truth, I'm the ticket at 170. Wherever I fight, I make that fight huge. I make that fight big, you know?
You see that McGregor says he wants to fight the winner of this fight. Like, let's say that's on the table, the title's on the table. Which one's the way do you go? Because you could defend this BMF title with a McGregor fight, and that would be probably bigger than an Usman fight.
Connor's done amazing things in the sport. And I always give, not always, but I try to give credit's due. He's got 2 belts. He's got the fastest knockout with the title. He's done a lot of great things, you know. But as of late, he hasn't competed in a while, and I'm just hearing things. I'm not seeing it, you know. If he comes back and fights whoever he fights and wins and wants to fight me, of course I'm gonna fight that guy over everybody, just like I fight Nate, because Nate's a huge dog, and he also brings in dollar bills. Connor's the same. He's a fighter. He might not be the toughest guy out there, but he's a hell of a fighter, and he brings in millions of dollars. So of course I'm gonna fight that guy over all these other bums. It's a no-brainer, man. But is he fighting? I don't know, you know?
Are you excited after the Nick Diaz fight disappeared on you? Is it just like, can you even believe your luck that you actually got Nate? You got one of the two?
Part of me, yeah, part of me, no, because I always thought for a while when I was coming up, man, I'm gonna fight Nate at some point. And then I started thinking, the fight might not materialize. I was in Strike versus in UFC. When we were both in the UFC, different weights. It's always a fight I wanted personally because I like the dude's style. I like how he carries himself. I like how he fights, you know. So I personally wanted a personal level. But I started thinking it might not happen, you know. And then thank God it's happening now.
Thanks, man.
Jorge, how much of this fight is about legacy for you and going down in history as the baddest man in the UFC?
It's all legacy. It's all heart and drive. I've said it many times, I don't think Nate is the most skilled, but he is one of the biggest dogs the sport has ever seen. And that right there, to me, says a lot. You know, that's a guy that I want to be. I want to be like, yeah, I beat that guy, you know?
Jorge, so you got to put him into another orbit. Is that the way to beat Nate Diaz? Knock him out?
A guy like Nate, definitely. You don't want to let that guy hang out at any moment. You might be beating him up for 4 rounds, you take him down, and he's still game, and he wraps around your neck. You can take his legs off, as we've seen, and the guy's just still coming, you know. So he's literally, the best way to describe him is he's a fighting dog, and fighting dog's the only way to take care of him is to put him down, you know.
You know, you talked about the Miami street fights in great detail. I'm just curious, even with a win, how dangerous was it walking away from one of those fights? Because, you know, anything goes on the street, right?
Super dangerous, man. That's the part that I probably didn't like in some ways, because you just don't know who's got a gun or a knife or who's upset. You know, I had incidences where guys got slick, and I got handled, you know, because it wasn't like it was just me by myself. Obviously, there was guys there doing their part in it as well to make sure that the quarterback or whatever you want to call me at the time was taken care of, you know. So I don't care for that aspect, because when it comes to fighting, it's not like, I don't like you, let's fight. It's more like, man, you're good at what you do, I'm good at what I do, let's compete, let's find out who the best is, you know. That's what I like about fighting the most, you know.
Did Kimbo ever have to play a role in, you know, making sure that sides played it cool?
Kimbo was amazing at making sure that the fight stayed the fight, you know. He'd shut that down quick. And not only is Kimbo intimidating, but everybody in Miami knows you don't want to fuck with him or his people, you know. So Kimbo can move mountains himself. And you add in together his squad, they're dangerous. So Kimbo was amazing at squashing all beefs. You know? We got into the scrap, man to man, and then after that, yo, shake hands, it's over. He's like the sensei of that realm, and he was a hell of a sensei, man.
Did you guys stay in touch between the street fights and his UFC run?
Yeah. Well, he was at American Top Team, so we'd run into each other on occasion, and then a little bit more frequent as he had camp, I had camp. He was in the Elite XC, then he was in the Ultimate Fighter, then he was in UFC. You know, so we'd always run into each other. Maybe I'd give him like a little thing that I did in a fight. Maybe he'd share like a crazy story with me, you know. So, I mean, we both do some Miami, love the fight, so we had a lot in common. We both love women too, so you know, we had a lot in common. You know?
What was it that about you that caught his eye in the beginning?
I don't know, maybe just some skinny kid working hard, and then, you know, my coaches went up to him, talked to him, and then he got to talk to me, and Kim was just like, I don't know, he's like a good dude, bro, you know? He's like a good dude, man. I really look back, and he didn't have to do that for me at all, whatsoever.
How much did you make for fighting Ray?
We didn't make money, and I did make money. Shout out to Icy Mike because things went on so I could get compensated, but I can't really talk about these things, you know, I'm a professional athlete, but Icy Mike always took care of everybody in those rings, made sure that if there was medical bills, if there was anything to do, Icy Mike made sure to take care of it. I just don't want to get too much into it because I am a pro fighter, I'm not supposed to talk about things like that. But shout out to Icy Mike, man.
Have you ever talked to Kimbo Slice's son, who is also fighting now?
Yeah, via social media and stuff, we talk. I've never gotten the chance to run into him in person, but man, I wish him all the success in the world, man. I hope he just, if he ever listens to this, man, put all the bullshit aside, leave the phones, the social media, the bitches, the drugs aside, and just get after my brother, because he's got talent, man. He's got to just polish that talent. He can take it to the next level. Done. Yeah.
As someone else who once worked out in Tim's, how did that come about? Was that your idea to work out in Tim's, and how long did you wear them for? 'Cause I saw that post, I'm like, yeah, I've had to do that shit.
Well, I heard that it's if you wear Tim's, you buy Tim's in New York, and you're not in New York, it's like 7 months of like foot fungus, you know. So they have to get gifted by New Yorkers, what I heard, and they were gifted to me from New York. I was here, and shit, I wanted to make sure my foot speed was good, so I worked out in them. I worked out in them about like 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and I started getting some serious blisters. I was like, I don't need these for the fight, so I took them off.
Yeah, no cardio in Tim's, just lifting.
Well, we did a little bit of cardio.
I know, I saw, I was like, that's a little crazy.
A little bit of
Don't
shadow
do much
boxing.
running in 'em.
Yeah, a little bit of shadow boxing, elliptical. And then I was like, man, I don't want to just get these blisters for no reason, you know?
Did you go to
Caught on elsewhere.
Timberlands?
Yeah. Why is it just such a New York thing?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
In
They
England?
caught on out
Okay.
there.
I mean, I see people in Miami wearing them in 98-degree
Probably
humidity.
ex-New Yorkers,
in the-
Miami,
ex-New Yorkers in Miami, yeah, maybe, you know? They got shorts with the Timbs on walking through the sand. You gotta salute those motherfuckers, man. Them fuckers are crazy, bro. Dedicated, man.
Is there a particular, there's a million things about Diaz on film. Is there a particular style that you think, sorry, not style, is there a particular aspect of his style that you think is going to play in well to
His heart and his firm commitment to not take no as an answer, you know? He'll get hit with something and he'll walk through that something. That sets him apart from 95% of the fighters I think out there. But in a case like mine, you could be walking into a baseball bat, a trap, you know?
You go to GQ too, the magazine? You go to GQ? The magazine? I saw you talking with someone at the GQ headquarters. How was that?
It was cool. I don't remember the piece now. It's been so much. I don't know if it was this week, last week, but I know I have talked to him a couple times, I think, you know?
Oh, hey, where can I get the...
This one?
Yeah, people are saying on Twitter, they're asking where you...
I want it.
Yeah, people want
Got
it.
it? I can't tell because then everybody will have it.
Jorge, you got any thoughts about Trump being there?
Yeah, it's cool, man. No matter what your political views are on him and whether he's made the country better or worse, it's a president. President of the United States, my country, that's allowed me to do this, to have this room packed full of people that are also making a living from me just talking and from me fighting, selling out the arena, so numerous people can make money, from the chair attendants to the president of the company. That's all allowed from this great country, and this man's leading it, so it's a great honor bestowed on me. You know, there's a lot of other cocksuckers trying to get the president to go to their fight. The president don't even acknowledge you, motherfucker. He's coming to my fight, though. I guess real recognize real, as they say. So it's a great honor, man, to tell you the truth. Sorry about my language.
Is part of, sorry, I apologize. Are you glad to be able to tell your dad's story through this fight? Like, he's been on camera for the countdown. I know you talked about him in various media outlets. He was like, cover your career for a while. This is really the first time I've heard and seen about him.
Yeah, he's always been a huge part of my career, and the media's asked me a lot and a lot more of him. And if I'm like maybe antisocial, my dad's not that he doesn't greet people. If you talk to him, he talks right back to you, but he rather he can't. He was to come into this room and he'd be like, whoa, he'd get lightheaded. So for a while I asked him like, hey, you want to do this interview? He's like, maybe not, son. The next one. And I told him, man, the media's been asking a lot about you. They just want to know your story, because his story, mine is interesting. What is his, you know? So I got him to agree, and he's starting to open up, but as you can tell, he's kind of like a shy type, you know? Plus, I can't blame him. His life has been completely different than most. He's been institutionalized for a long time. His thought process is a lot different than most civilians, you know? When he walks into a room, when he sees people, things that are going on, you know? So I can't blame him that he doesn't like to do a lot of it. So I got him to open up now, though, because I've been asking a lot from him, and I've said his stories numerous times, because it's me. It's part of my journey, you know.
Do you feel any kind of obligation to honor his sacrifice through your career?
Oh, for a fact. The reason that Cuban flag is on my shirt, I wasn't born in Cuba. That flag was for him.
You born in Florida?
No, I was born in Miami, Florida. And my mom's from Peru, so it's not like I'm full Cuban, you know, but that flag, when I would fight, he was in the penitentiary still, and I knew I was a way for him to see me go, man, not like he wouldn't have anyways, but that's my son he's representing. He's my boy, and I'm proud of him. You know, look at him, he's got the flag on, he's representing for me and my people, you know. So that was strictly for my dad and him, and it's always been a bond between me and him. Not that I'm not proud to be Cuban, but I only have that there for him, you know, to let him know, man, you've always been part of the journey, even when you weren't here, you were over there. He's guided me so much throughout life, and then my career and stuff. A lot of people don't know it, but he's the one to make a lot of the first and final decisions in training camp, in how I'll approach a fight, and how I actually fight. The Ben Askren was brought to you in a way by my dad in many, many ways.
He suggested the flying knee?
It's not that my dad knows what I'm capable of doing. I told my dad numerous times, I get back home from training and I'll tell my dad, I'm in shape. I'm in fucking shape, man. I want to hurt this guy. I'm going to punish this motherfucker. I swear to you, bro. Look at how he's talking shit about my culture, my language. I'm going to fucking hurt this dude, and I want to punish him bad. And after a long training day, I don't want to see nobody. It's my dad. That's it. Me and him will hang out. We got rocking chairs. We talk shit. He'll smoke his tobacco. I'll smoke my Jane. We just talk shit. And I would tell him this is what I'm going to do. And be like, man, I don't want you to punish him for 2-3 rounds. I wanted you to just kind of end him, show the world he's not at your level. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to just punish him for like 13 minutes and beat his ass, show the world I'm better than everywhere in him. And my dad was like, nah, do this one time for me, just get him out there as quick as you can. I said, as quick as I can? He said, yeah. Like, all right, I started making the formula for that, you know, and when that came about, I just did it, you know, so that in a big way, the world can thank my dad for that.
And last for me is, I remember covering your Iaquinta fight in Fairfax, Virginia. I don't know if you remember this. It was the workout was in a UFC gym, in like the middle of the suburbs somewhere. Like, look around now, man. This is wild. Like, were you ever at a point in your career thinking this kind of attention for you would never materialize?
Yes and no, you know. I felt like, man, I beat the crap out of Al, not trying with disrespect. I felt I won that fight straight up.
He got booed, remember?
He got booed out of there, and I felt I won that fight. And I was going back, like, maybe if I had done this different, maybe like that. But all that led to just me winning a decision, you know. My mind wasn't ready for all this. And something that I had to take to myself and be at peace with myself. I couldn't have had this back then. You know why? Because I didn't get him out of there in a violent way. You guys are only here because I'm one of the most violent guys walking the fucking planet, man. So the me back then could see it and could not, you know. The me now knows that this was going to happen. The next fight is going to be twice as many of you here covering the event, you know. So that old game bird is dead anyway, so. Got it.
The magnitude of the occasion, headlining MSG, some Kenyans 2 years ago, so you fought Roger Boyd here. I think you were the third fight in the main card, and now you're top of the field. How's that feel?
I mean, there's a lot of outside factors going on into this fight that I'm trying not to let sink in. Like the president's gonna be here, The Rock's gonna be giving out the belt. He played for the U, Madison Square Garden. If you know me, you know I'm a nerd. I'm a fucking geek about fighting. I know the guys that have came through that arena. But I try not to think about that shit. I Men in Black myself and just forget about it because it's just a fight. And that's all I have to see. When the fight is over, and I'm all by myself, I give praise to God and let it all hit me. Let it all hit me. Like, damn, I fucking headlined that bad boy. I did it. So as of right now, I just keep telling myself it's just a fight. Like if I'm fighting somebody in their backyard, I don't think about it. I don't give if I get in a spaceship, go to another planet. Is it a fight? What am I going there for? A fight? That's all I think about. So November 2nd is just a fight, right? Elbows, knees, punches, just a fight. That's all I'm worried about, man. That's all my focus is on. It's just a fight. Everything else could be distractions that I don't need right now.
Obviously, your fight ended in spectacularly quick fashion. Are you looking forward to having a long, drawn-out war with Diaz? He's very durable, and Josh Thompson's the only person to move away.
It's just going to be violent from start to finish. It can't be a decision. Those things in me, water and oil. It doesn't matter if I 10-8 a guy every round. Those things ain't me, you know. So I'm going to give it everything I got to end him. I don't know if that makes a war, or it makes a short night, or it makes the greatest fight in the UFC history. I don't know. I'll find out November 2nd.
Did you ever learn more?
Yoga before you fight? Do you practice meditation before you fight?
Every day.
Every day?
I was trying to do some of that now before I got harassed. You know, I was actually doing it after my little workout in the morning. I do it every day. All day, every day I do it, you know. It's harder now with the media and stuff. And you can't do it with people around you. At least I'm not that. I could do it, you know, I could just be an asshole and ignore people and just do my thing, but it works better in isolation for me. In nature, that's where I get my creativity from. I like to be alone, man, especially on fight week. And it's the last thing I get on fight week, you know.
Is it something you've been practicing for a long time, or is it something that you've been like?
Well, the practice of it, you know, I've been doing it since I was a kid. Since I was in an uncomfortable situation, I see myself getting out of that situation. But the actual application and the black belt that I have in it now has come in the last 3 to 4 years, especially this last year. I've gotten really, really, really good at it. You know, I'm just putting myself where I need to be. Yeah, taming the demons and just getting to what I got to do. You know.
Did you feel any burnout from all the media travel you had to do with Uruguay, Mexico? You did the Anaheim card. Did any of it catch up to you mentally, and you had to step back?
Yeah, no. Traveling's fun. It sucks when the UFC fucks up my flight and they send me coach and they tell me it was motherfucking business class and I don't have the best of the backs because I've been doing this shit 16 years, picking guys up over my head and slamming them, or them picking me up and slamming me at a pro level for a long ass time. So it sucks when I'm promised a fucking certain flight and I don't get it. That hurts, you know. You get to the airport and you go, wait, what do you fucking mean, you know? And plus I'm not too savvy with the app, so a lot of times I find out at the last moment. But other than that, it's part of the job, man. It's whatever.
Did you put that into your contract, like first class business only?
Something like that, you know. They got certain rules and laws and bullshit, but I'll put it like this. If it's not business class and it's a UFC thing event, I just won't do it, you know. It's that easy because this back has too much wear and tear for me to just fuck it up. And no offense to those that fly coach or still flying coach, because I did that shit more than most of the motherfuckers watching this interview ever have, you know. So it's about time I get my right due, you know. And it's just for the back purposes. I could care less about the blankets and all that shit, you know.
Mike Tyson always talked about the anxiety that he experienced, like during the, like before the fight, like backstage, getting ready to walk out. Is that something that you go through too? Do you ever deal with that?
Fight day. You know, you've been doing this your whole life. Then whatever long that training camp was, and then you got all this where you're only talking about fighting. So I know how to turn it off, but still every once in a while somebody might ask the right question that sparks me up, and I get amped, and I can't really release it. And then you get to the locker room, and then you're in there for how many hours? And then you finally get to the fucking cage, and it feels like Bruce Buffer's fucking taking forever, man. Just, I want to fucking fight. Not to offend him or nothing, but I just want to fight. Let's go. And at that moment, it feels like, I don't know how long his introductions are, it feels like it's 2 hours. All I'm thinking about is I want to fucking go. Let me loose already. And that's when the anxiety's had to speak, but that's when I have to be the biggest professional I've ever been, and just like, all right, it's gonna happen. I just gotta be patient now. But once that bell rings and you start to like do this, the anxiety leaves, man. All that leaves, and you just, man, you go from being a stiff mindset to like, woo, let's go, you know?
It's like nothing like that anxiety, right? Like nothing in the world is like that pre-fight. Like you're gonna get into a fight, right? Like, and that's like a whole different. Like I would never know that because I've never been in a UFC fight.
Man, I've done a lot of crazy shit in my life. On all sides. Craziest shit you can think of, I've done it. There's nothing like fighting. That's why I'm still here, baby. That's why I still do it, you know? Fighting gives me that adrenaline, dump, bump, picker-upper. It does what no other drug, woman, activity, sporting event, nothing can do for me, you know? That's why I'm still doing it. And people ask me, how could you keep doing it? I love it, that's why.
What does the anxiety feel like? Does it feel like butterflies? Like, is it like nausea? Like what does that feel like?
I don't know how to explain in terms that everybody can relate sometimes, but maybe you're at your birthday party and your mom got you your favorite cake, right? Your favorite is of cakes. You're sitting watching this cake for several hours. Your mom, let's cut the fucking cake. I want to eat. No. Your aunt's coming. She's down the street with the kids. And it's fucking 5 hours later. Yo, I want to cut the cake. I want to eat it now. It's going to melt. It's an ice cream cake, mom. And they ain't letting you cut that cake. Maybe something like that times 100, you know?
Looking back a couple of years ago when you were rocking the short hair and everything, it looks like a different dude. To now, you seem physically different. You seem like mentally freer. Is that all linked together, you know, the way you look, the way you feel right now? Do you feel like a new Jorge in a way?
Well, I used to have my long hair back then, before I got into like the UFC and stuff. So the look, I don't know so much. But the freeness, I've always been pretty free. It's just certain aspects that change about my life. Cutting out negativity and bullshit, things that didn't help me get to the next level, cut it. Whether it was a fake friendship, a chick having access to me, and anything, food, anything that I don't need that wouldn't help me get to the next level, gone.
Your teammate Dustin Poirier said when he jumped up to lightweight, it took him a few fights to actually feel like a legitimate lightweight as opposed to a featherweight that's not cutting weight. Did you feel the same thing going up to welterweight? Like, did it take you a few fights to feel like a legitimate welterweight?
I always trained with, especially that top team that we had so many guys, I always trained the weight class above. So a lot of my sparring partners were 70 pounders to wrestle to spar with. Just so I could have that disadvantage and advantage, you know? So I always knew that there was a strength advantage, especially if it was like a sound grappler. I could feel it, like, man, this guy's considerably stronger than me. I got certain tools that I was just gifted, like speed and reflexes, and it didn't matter. I could always pull it off on whoever. But at 170, I would feel that difference. So I lifted a lot of weights before. When my first fight at 70, not so much. But after that, I started lifting as much as I could because I couldn't lift weights at 155. I'd lift weights, but not for strength, just for like cardio, just to burn my muscles out. Because at 155 pounds, there was no room for me to get bigger. So I figured I'm gonna put on as much muscle as I can at 70 and get stronger. And it worked and it didn't. You know, I just didn't peak it at the right time. So I found where my body needs to be at. I know exactly now when to cut the weights so I can still have that explosion that I need to deliver those one-shot hits and keep knocking people out. And while we're on that, I feel like, man, I don't get the credit I deserve fucking knocking people out, man. I got like that Izzy at the Sanaya complex where he's skinny and shit and tall, and people are like, oh, he ain't got no pop. That motherfucker's got power, and so do I, man. People keep like thinking I don't got power. I can't wait till November 2nd. People gonna see how fucking hard I hit, man.
Do you play any other sports outside of this? Does anything else benefit you? Any other sports for doing MMA? Subjective.
Sports?
Like Nate does a lot of triathlons between camps and stuff like that.
I've done a couple triathlons in the past. I wouldn't say I'm actively competing in them. Do a lot of handball for warming up and practice. That's a sport. Dominoes is a sport. It's on ESPN, so duh. Any sports I do, Aiden? Outside of fighting, sex. Oh, Exathlon. Yeah, I did that reality show. I could do some parkour. I could do some shit. You'd be a little bit impressed. I already mentioned dominoes, skiing. I don't do that often. I do it like once, twice a year, because But I do that every year. Skiing. When?
Where?
Where? Shit, I've been all over the country. This year I'm probably headed back to Utah, I'm thinking, man. I really like Utah.
You should go to Whistler.
Canada doesn't allow me in there for some shit. They're saying this, they're saying that. Those are rumors, though. If I get
up to Canada, I'll try to smooth it over.
Oh, yeah. Talk to somebody over there. I've been dying to go to Whistler. Maybe I'm going to Japan this year, so I am going to get some Japan stuff. Yeah.
Good stuff, brother.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
What do you think about Izzy saying he wants to fight Yoel next now that Paulo Costa is going to be on the shelf?
Man, let me tell you about Izzy. I'll share a personal story with Izzy. Joel, everybody knows, that's my boy, that's my brother. We've been training together. All that, So I see Izzy after my fight with Ben at a club. And Izzy's a wild motherfucker. He's got his shirt off in the nightclub, women everywhere. I'm immediately like, I love this motherfucker. And we're just talking shit, just shooting the breeze, just two fighters that love what they do, And he pulls me closer. Come here, let me tell you something, Masvidal. He's like, man, I know Joel's your boy. But listen to me, that's the baddest motherfucker. Until I fight that dude, my legacy won't be complete. Now, it's in the club, so I don't know if he said those exact words, legacy and complete, but he clearly made it to me. And this is why I love Izzy, man. Nobody in the history has ever wanted to fight Joel. Nobody's wanted. They get forced into fighting Joel. Ask anybody. Ask one of the toughest motherfuckers to do it, Whitaker. Ask anybody if they want to fight Joel. And after you fight Joel, you see what happens. You're never the same. Nobody. And Izzy looked me in my soul and told me, he goes, I'm going to fight Joel. It didn't matter who was off. If they could offer him Joe Schmo for the belt, it didn't matter to him. He wanted to fight Joel. And right then and there, I knew the type of character he was. Like, man, this guy is who he says he is. He wants to fight the best, the baddest of the baddest. I fucking saluted him and said, man, God bless you on your journey, man, because he's an animal.
As Yoel's training partner and friend, I'm sure you don't think Israel is going to defeat him, I imagine, correct?
I think Israel has... How long has he been fighting exactly for MMA?
Not a couple of years. He's only been in the UFC for like a year and a half.
That guy has so much talent in just his fucking pinky. It's crazy, man. Obviously, Joel, we have a relationship, That's my boy, and I think he's another guy that has so much that I know for myself because I've been alongside him a while. So much talent in just his pinky as well. So it's one of those fights that, like, wow, this is a great fight. Does Izzy have the tools to beat him? Of course. Izzy can, on his night, Izzy can beat anybody and make it look easy. But can Joel also beat Izzy? Hell yeah. There's not a person, and it goes all the way to heavyweight, that Joel can't hit and dismantle your fucking face, man. That being said, I thought he won his last fight, As most of you did.
Appreciate you.